In feudal times, kings had a jester, who was the lowest member of the court. Due to their lack of status, these wise fools could say things no one else could. Modern society has comedians, truth-tellers, who are vital to our culture. At least that's what I thought before interviewing Scott Marty and his roommate, Liam.
So how did you guys get into comedy?
I'd already tried to make it as a DJ. Liam was a film school graduate, but neither of those things were going anywhere.
So you found success in comedy?
No, not at all. But you see, that's the beauty of stand-up. You're allowed to be a failure.
Is writing jokes hard?
Well, you don't need good jokes. That's just for a select group of performers. What you need is around 20, maybe 25 minutes of garbage, and then you get on stage with that every once in a while and just call yourself a comic.
But it must take some courage to get up there.
Not at all. Most comedians are narcissists, so public speaking doesn't take any bravery. We just pretend like it does.
It was becoming clear that modern-day comedians were a far cry from the wise fools of antiquity. In medieval times, Marty and Liam would have been beheaded, but without a king to execute them, I could only continue the interview.
Befriend the people with power. And by power, I mean they run a weekly open mic out of a dive bar. Once you're kind of in with that group, your dopamine mostly comes from acceptance and not from making the crowd laugh. So you never have to get good at comedy.
Don't the crowds notice that no one is laughing?
Most of the time, they barely notice that we're doing a comedy show. We're actively ruining people's nights. And we ask for drink tickets. And when the bar cancels the show, we complain and say they're not supporting local talent.
How do you guys make money?
Disability checks. We both have anxiety disorders.
I considered calling the police. Then I realized that might not be necessary, thanks to the benevolent virus COVID-19 and its merry variants.
Has the pandemic made it harder for comedians?
It's actually made it easier. The first 6 months were the best because we both took a break for self-care, which meant we didn't even have to do any comedy.
You took a break from not writing jokes to not write jokes?
And jerk off.
Ketchup chip.
Nice.
What's going on?
Whenever we talk about jerking off at the same time, we play ketchup chip.
But the self-care period can't last forever, can it?
That's why we're doing Zoom shows. You guys still comedians? Yeah, nice. Me too.
Who's watching this?
Other comedians on the show.
Guys, this all just seems really
Masturbatory ketchup chip.
These court jesters were nothing more than ego sacks. The comedy community was a cautionary tale, warning us about that dangerous meeting point between ego and mediocrity. Stand-up would always be with us, but I needed to do my part to stop Marty and Liam. So I hired a third party to burn their house down. For Global World News, I'm Alex Byron.